Denmark is often viewed as a quaint, happy Nordic country known for Lego toys and fairy tale towns. But beyond the clichés lies a land of extraordinary surprises just waiting to be uncovered. Do you think you really know Denmark? The adorable land of happy people and fairy tales? Well, think again. Let's start with Danes eat breakfast pizza topped with chocolate sprinkles. When you imagine a classic Danish breakfast, visions of bread, cheese, and coffee likely spring to mind. However, Denmark has recently pioneered an unconventional morning meal that is quickly gaining cult status: chocolate-sprinkled pizza. That's right, Danes are kicking off their day with a sweet and savory pizza piled high with colorful candy toppers. At first glance, this eccentric fusion may seem bizarre to outsiders, yet across Denmark, chocolate-sprinkled breakfast pizza has become a beloved way to start the morning. The combo of warm, melty cheese and a sugary hit of sprinkles is surprisingly addictive. Pizza shops are cashing in on the craze too, offering breakfast pizzas topped with chocolate as a menu staple. Who knows? After sampling this quirky Danish specialty, you too may find yourself craving cocoa-dusted carbs to start your day. Ever notice something missing when you visit Denmark? Like maybe those common polite phrases are curiously absent? What happened to please and thank you? Here's a surprising fact about Danish culture and etiquette. The language has no direct equivalent for the English words please or you're welcome. That's right. These common courteous phrases do not actually exist in Denmark. The closest approximations are expressions like be so kind or if you would. However, Danes rarely use such overt politeness in daily conversation. This absence of automatic pleases and thank yous may seem startling at first. Yet many Danes argue it comes across as more sincere and less contrived. After all, why use pleasantries if you don't actually mean them? The lack of these niceties is simply part of the direct Danish communication style. In Denmark, actions speak louder than empty words. So next time you visit the land of Legos, don't judge if no one politely pandas for your requests. No please is not a sign of rudeness. It's just the Danish way. The next one is about something that most of us don't like. Did you know that Denmark has the highest taxes in the world? At first glance, Denmark appears to be a liberal paradise, offering enviable work-life balance and comprehensive social welfare programs. But make no mistake, Danes work hard and pay steep taxes to fund this comfortable lifestyle. Denmark holds the title of having the highest tax rate in the world relative to GDP. The average Danish citizen pays up to 48.2% income tax, plus a 25% value-added tax on most goods and services. And high-income residents pay upwards of a 56.5% income tax, more than half their yearly earnings. If that wasn't enough, Denmark also imposes the world's highest registration tax on new vehicles at a staggering 150%. So while Danish taxes may provoke shock or horror abroad, locals accept them as an investment in their nation's future. By contributing a large slice of their paychecks, Danes enjoy free healthcare, sponsored maternity-paternity leave, university tuition coverage, and more. Still, handing over 50 cents of every dollar earned takes discipline. So next time you grumble about your tax rate, count your blessings that you don't reside in Denmark. Imagine getting a monthly allowance just for going to university. Well, for college students in Denmark, this is a normal perk. Attending college or university is already tuition-free in Denmark for EU/EEA students. But the Danish government sweetens the deal by actually paying learners aged 18 plus to earn their degrees. Known as Statens Uddannelsesstøtte or SU, eligible full-time university students receive a monthly grant between $1,000 and $1,200, simply for advancing their education. To qualify, undergraduates must live independently of their parents and remain focused on their studies. In return, Denmark invests in developing specialized skills to enrich its future talent pool. For young scholars, receiving a paycheck while preparing for brighter careers sure beats taking out oppressive student loans. It's no wonder Denmark is one of the most educated countries on earth, given all their academic advantages. Did you ever hear a shocking fact about how Danes care for infants? Babies are left outside stores and cafes. For visitors to Denmark, A strange cultural sight may catch you off guard. Babies left alone outside stores. That's right, Danes routinely leave infants bundled up in strollers on the sidewalk when running errands or grabbing coffee. First-time observers might be understandably horrified at the babies left out in the cold. Yet for Danish parents, this practice is entirely normal and safe. Locals trust that no harm will come to unattended infants thanks to Denmark's famously low crime rates. Moreover, they believe napping in the fresh Nordic air fortifies children against illness. By 12 months, babies are sleeping cozily outside household doorsteps too, as parents can easily monitor them through windows. To outsiders, this may seem negligent at first glance. But Danish parents swear their infants thrive thanks to plenty of chilly shut-eyes. Just don't forget where you park the stroller. Can a language truly go extinct in modern times? In the 19th century, scholars made the embarrassing blunder of declaring Danish obsolete. Here's an embarrassing historical fact for so-called linguistic experts. In the 1800s, a collective of academics made the mortifying blunder of declaring the Danish language extinct. These scholarly buffoons theorized that Danish would soon dissolve entirely as residents adopted the German tongue. They wrongly assumed constant exposure from bordering regions would erode the distinct qualities of native Danish speech over generations. However, one fiercely patriotic Danish historian named Rasmus Rask refused to accept this offensive verdict. Dedicated to preserving Denmark's linguistic sovereignty, Rask undertook ambitious studies of Old Norse works to trace the development of grammar and vocabulary. This body of research armed Danish officials with proof of their language's rich legacy and regional variations. Thanks to Rask's efforts, the misinformed extinction allegation was swiftly overturned, and Danish identity was reaffirmed. Today, the mother tongue remains alive and serves as a source of national pride for native speakers in Denmark and abroad. What's the secret behind the world's oldest operating amusement park? And did you know that Denmark has the oldest amusement park in the world? Chances are you've heard of iconic theme parks like Disneyland or Six Flags. But did you know the world's oldest operating amusement park lies not in America but in Copenhagen? That's right, Tivoli Gardens holds the distinction of being the longest-running amusement park on Earth. First opened in 1843, Tivoli predates other international theme park pioneers by over a century. Yet rather than seeming dated, this Victorian wonderland continues to charm visitors with its vintage appeal. Nestled in central Copenhagen, just steps from City Hall Square, Tivoli dazzles guests with lush landscaped gardens, whimsical architecture straight from fairy tales, gravity-defying rides, and glittering illuminations after dark. No wonder it captured the imagination of Walt Disney himself during a visit in 1951. Though copies have emerged, Tivoli Gardens remains the nostalgic original, an enduring emblem of Copenhagen, offering magical memories for all ages. Did you know the beloved Lego bricks we all grew up with emerged from Denmark? Chances are you spent hours of childhood meticulously snapping together small plastic bricks to construct castles, vehicles, or even entire cities. Well, it may surprise you to learn that our beloved Lego traces its roots back to modest Denmark. In the early 1930s, a Danish carpenter named Ole Kirk Christiansen found himself out of work as the Great Depression destroyed demand for his woodcraft business. Sensing an opportunity, Christiansen shifted gears to producing toy versions of household items like ironing boards and cars for children to spark their creativity. His company was dubbed Lego, a blended contraction of the Danish phrase "leg godt," meaning play well. The introduction of an early plastic-based building brick prototype paved the way for the signature colorful bricks. By the late 1950s, their patented interlocking stud and tube coupling system revolutionized constructive play as we know it. While copycats have emerged, Lego bricks remain the creative gold standard, all thanks to an ingenious Danish carpenter who set imaginations free. Believe it or not, there are more pigs than people in the tiny country of Denmark. How did they end up with such a massive pork population? You likely associate Denmark with delectable pastries, quaint fishing villages, and of course the Little Mermaid statue. But you may not know this humble country harbors a massive population of pigs. Believe it or not, porkers actually outnumber people within Denmark's borders. The tally sits at roughly 5.8 million human residents, compared to over 12 million oinking pigs on Danish farms. It turns out Denmark's small landscape happens to provide ideal conditions for raising happy, healthy swine. Their signature breed, known as the Danish landrace, produces plenty of porkers, perfectly suited for breeding or butchering. As a result, Denmark has become the world's top exporter of bacon, ham, and other pig-based products. Did you know Denmark is actually an archipelago with over 400 islands? That's nearly one island per day to explore. Though it may seem small pinned on the global map, the remarkable geography of Denmark includes a whopping 406 islands. With nearly one island per day of the year, Denmark offers endless offshore adventures for sailors, sunbathers, and starry-eyed travelers. The majority lie nestled in clusters within the sheltered Baltic and Kattegat seas. Jutting shorelines form natural harbors, allowing visitors to hop conveniently between islands by ferry or private boat. Though some islands are connected via bridges, over 70 are fully detached havens begging to be explored. Rugged coastal terrain yields endless photo ops and secluded hideaways to channel your castaway fantasies. Famed for their sweeping dune beaches, adorable fishing villages, and delightfully offbeat vibes, top island picks include. So while early independence may seem astonishing abroad, Danish teens typically thrive when empowered to shape their own development. Danes are known as some of the happiest people around. But did you know they also consume a ton of beer? Just how many pints does the average Danish adult gulp down per year? Danes are renowned as some of the happiest people on the planet, according to the famous World Happiness Report. Their cheerfulness seems ever-present whether they bundle up and soak up precious sunny days outdoors. Yet the merriment certainly flows more freely thanks to a phenomenal amount of beer. For a nation with just 5.8 million residents, Denmark gulps down a lot of suds. In fact, annual beer consumption totals up to about 142 million liters per year, split between the adult population. That shakes out to roughly 240 pints down per year by every Dane over age 15. Whether savoring specialty brews at Copenhagen's hipster bars or tossing back Tuborg at backyard barbecues, Danish DNA is wired for indulging in booze. Though wine and liquor contribute too, bottomless pints enable Denmark's reign as one of the thirstiest beer-guzzling nations on the planet. Skål to that. You think bikes are just for kids? Well, Denmark has almost one bicycle per citizen, thanks to millions of cycles ruling their roads. What makes Denmark the two-wheeled capital of the world? In the eco-conscious kingdom of Denmark, cycling is king. Rather than clogging roads with smog-spewing cars, over 5 million bicycles transport Danes wherever they need to go. That's nearly one bike per citizen, hovering around the 5.8 million population mark. From bustling Copenhagen to the remotest rural villages, folks of all ages can be spotted pedaling the Danish landscape. Of course, their capital, Copenhagen, wears the biking crown proudly as one of the most cycle-friendly metropolises worldwide. The city boasts over 390 kilometers of designated bike lanes, allowing cyclists to cruise safely, segregated from vehicles. Whether you're biking to work, school, or simply the nearest cafe, this low-impact mode of mobility keeps Denmark healthy and happy. Even politicians pencil in wheel time to meet constituents while cycling their districts. Though bitter winters challenge dedication temporarily, Denmark officially remains the undisputed cycling nirvana of the world. Sorry, Italy. Denmark now claims the world's #1 restaurant. But Noma's Nordic tasting menu is not for the faint-hearted. What weird ingredients end up on the plates at this original eatery? Foodies around the world, pay heed. According to the influential World's 50 Best Restaurants Academy, Denmark's Noma now wears the crown for 2022. Lucky patrons at this original eatery, run by renowned chef René Redzepi, get a taste of the future of cuisine thanks to boundary-pushing new Nordic flavors. By scouring wilderness seascapes and forests for ingredients, Redzepi spotlights native Nordic identity through edible lenses. Diners immerse themselves in sensory journeys from the Arctic Circle to the Faroe Islands, capturing terror in its purest form. Expect rare oddities like reindeer hearts, truffle-infused juices from ants, and crumbs of cereal malt flavored with smoked bone marrow. Described by fans as mind-blowing and quasi-spiritual, a meal at Noma will melt your mind and challenge your preconceptions. For exploratory gastronomes, Denmark undoubtedly qualifies as the ultimate culinary frontier. Did you know that Denmark has the world's oldest national flag? The iconic red and white Danish flag with its distinctive Nordic cross design has waved over Denmark since the 14th century, making it the oldest continuously used national flag in the world. According to legend, during the Battle of Lindenice in 1219, Denmark's King Valdemar II gazed up at a red flag with a white cross that had recently fallen from the skies. This divine sign inspired Danish forces to victory. To honor this mythical event, the Danish flag, the Dannebrog, was born. Amazingly, the original cloth from the Battle of Lindenice has been preserved in a cathedral in Denmark for over 700 years. While the tale may be more fiction than fact, Denmark's banner has remained one of the most recognizable national emblems globally. So next time you spot this timeless red and white flag fluttering in the Nordic breeze, remember you're glimpsing history. On the coast of Denmark lies a magical vanishing beach with a supernatural ability to rebuild itself. Why do experts struggle to explain this phenomenon dubbed bestseller beach? From the whimsical municipality of Vejle along Denmark's east coast, a baffling geographical phenomenon has scientists utterly stumped. This rugged shoreline plays host to a fleeting sandbank that routinely vanishes below violent waves only to mysteriously resurface time and time again. Dubbed Bestseller Beach, thanks to sponsorship by the Danish fashion group, the capricious sandbank spans about 15 football fields long when fully formed. Locals flock here to soak up the rare spaciousness of the Baltic Sea. Yet harsh conditions associated with Denmark's changeable climate frequently batter the site. Nonetheless, the ephemeral stretch regenerates itself like magic, regardless of whatever seasonal storms conspire to erase it. Though erosion persists as an issue along Denmark's beaches, experts have no solid explanations currently for Bestseller Beach's supernatural staying power. Leading theories speculate that underwater vortexes swiftly rebuild the windswept sandbank. For now, its enigmatic presence remains another surreal Danish mystery. Well, there you have it, folks. 15 of the craziest, most unbelievable facts about Denmark that are bound to leave you shocked. From beer-guzzling Danes to magically regenerating beaches, this quaint Scandinavian country is clearly more surprising than it lets on. We hope these mind-blowing discoveries give you a thrilling new perspective on wonderful Denmark. Now we would love to hear from you. Out of all these eccentric Danish factoids, which one blew your mind the most? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to join the community. Until next time, stay curious.